Howdy and welcome back. Today we'll be beginning part one of at least a two, possibly three-part segment over how to create player death. And so we've already established collisions with the enemy bullet. All we do is have a little screen shake effect and that's it. What we're going to do is expand upon this to address collisions with the enemy if they walk into us, as well as setting up a health bar and ultimately having an animation for the player death and a reset stage. So with that in mind, let's first create our health bar, something that we can visually see that we've got health. So if we go to our create event, I'm going to add a little section on health bar. With this section, what we're going to want to do is make sure that we have two variables. These two variables will represent information about our player in regards to what they need for their health bar. So with that, HP is equal to 10. And so this is current health, and max HP is equal to also 10. Max. With these two variables, let's see. With these two variables, we now have the basic things that we need. Now, to actually address the player's health bar being created, there's actually a built-in function that we can use. What I'm going to want to do is create a separate object. And so let's just wrap up this portion with instance underscore create underscore layer at our X and our Y value and at our current layer. We're going to create obj underscore health bar, which we're going to define in a bit. And then we just specify who the owner is. The owner is whoever other is. In this case, that just says, I'm creating this, and so therefore I am the owner. With that, we can then create our object health bar. Create object obj underscore health bar. Now that we've got this, we are going to add a draw event. And in our draw event, we're going to go ahead and create, let's see, a health bar with our owner, whoever that might be. If image underscore X scale is -1, make sure the anchor is set to 1, else anchor is equal to 0. It's important to have this information because you'll see in a moment whenever, let me zoom in. Whenever we actually draw the health bar, it is kind of a lengthy function, health bar. We specify our X position. I'm going to specify my current X value, which should be near the center, minus the sprite underscore width divided by 2, comma, what is the Y value? Y minus sprite underscore height divided by 2 plus 30. And so that means it'll at least move from the center up above and then plus a little bit more. And this will just get longer. Let me just expand this view. So now we have our defined x1, y1. We need our x2, y2. x2, y2 tells us the other information. Let me shrink this down. We will end up using this entire field. X2 is our X value plus the sprite underscore width divided by 2. That will specify the first two values for the top left corner. This will be the bottom right corner. Our Y value is simply minus, again, the sprite underscore height divided by 2. And I'm only going to add 20. So that means my health bar is 10 pixels wide. Comma. And now what is our health? Our health is the hit points divided by the max hit points times 100. And so this will make it a percentage. We divide our current value over the maximum value and multiply by 100. And so we can get a proper display. Now, what is the background color? I'm going to set mine to be equal to black. What is it whenever we're at low health? It is red. What is it whenever we're at high health? It will be green. And then where is it anchored? Where is the lower part of the value? If the anchor is 0, then that means it's the left side. If the anchor is 1, then that means it's the right side. That's all anchor does. 3 and 4 do vertical health bars. I'm keeping it horizontal. And the reason why we need this is because whenever we flip the player, it also flips the health bar. Whenever I'm checking this, if the player is flipped, I make sure the health bar uses the opposite anchor. So that way it stays in the same correct position. Otherwise, the health bar will flip back and forth each time. And then finally, true and true, whether it shows the back and whether it adds a little 1 pixel black border around the outline. And so now that we've got that, let me just enter it again just to make it a little bit more spacious. Now, assuming everything has been written correctly, let's go ahead and let me get back to my player, make sure everything is good. This is referenced correctly. Oh no, instance create, I had a capital C here, it should be lowercase. All right, I think we've got everything correctly set up. Okay, let's go ahead and run this and see what we get. And so this conveniently just gives us a single health bar without any too much hassle. All right, jump into our testing room. And there we go, I've got a little health bar. It's currently not going down. We don't have any code to actually address that, but we can quickly implement this. If we go back to here, we can add in the damage target code, and I'm going to do 2 damage. And now that we've got this, again, this is a script that we had created whenever we shoot the enemies. I think, oh wait, no, stop it. There's one variable that it requires in here, which is flash. And drawing the hitbox. Flash is equal to flash, and then that's just flash is equal to 0. We don't have any flash at the start, and we need to make sure we add the little section of code where we do the hit flash. So if we look over at our enemy and see how the enemy draws the hit flash, we just copy this, or actually I think we can copy event, draw hit flash, and throw that into our player. If we go back to where our player is, add event, add draw event, and in our draw event, actually I don't need to add this. I need to paste the event, and there we go. It takes the hit flash from the other side and adds it here. And so now we should be good. We have our flash effect set to 0. I damage the target, our health will decrease progressively, and then it draws a little hit flash once we've been hit. And we already have the shake effect done whenever we have our collision. So now I get hit. You see my health bar goes down. Now, of course, we don't have any code for it to, once it goes to 0, it just kind of ceases to exist. As you can see, the health bar still gets outlined here in black. Maybe I should change the color and make it stand out, but I'll play around with that for visuals. But yes, you can see that I have no health bar. Or I could just change that one variable. Let's go back to our health bar. Where is health? Drawing the health bar, we could set this one to false. This addresses whether or not the background gets drawn, show back. And now we see it vanishes and it does not stick around. But that's all we've got to do in order to demonstrate having a health bar. And now we're damaging the player. We've got hit flash integrated. And so that's where I'll close off part 1. If y'all have any questions or need any assistance from me, just let me know in class. Otherwise, next time we'll begin working on getting the player to have a death animation and restarting the game following their death. Otherwise, everyone have a good one.